Hi, everybody. My name is Nicole Solis, and I'm going to be doing a presentation on the economic systems in postbellum South, specifically in Mississippi. In August 1865, a man named Almoran Williams, a 22-year-old freedman of color, entered into a labor contract in Franklin County, Mississippi. Unlike some laborers on the same contract, Almoran received no monetary wages. Many contracts of the period include name, age, sex, wages, former owner, residence, and even other remarks detailing the contract laborer. Also, many of the contracts included the race or color of the individual. Colors on some records ranged from yellow and mulatto to brown, black, and dark. This specific record does not include color and only mentions the name, age, sex, wages, and the class of the individual. So the class indicated the ability of the person to perform agricultural work. First and second class individuals usually received higher pay than third class individuals. According to this contract, the first class laborers received $5 in wages, second class $2, and the third class received at most $3. But Almoran Williams, a third class laborer, received nothing except for food, clothing, and medical attention. The ages of the individuals in this contract range in age from 11 to 65. Neither age nor sex seem to have correlation with the wages. So while some labor contracts did explain physical ailments to justify this pay, this specific one does not. So therefore, it's unclear that why Almoran did not receive wages. The contract specified a term of just over 4 months from the date of signage to December 31st of that year, with a delayed payment by January 1st, 1866. This local labor arrangement existed within a rapidly expanding national market, as described by Richard Bensel, in which regional economies, particularly the agricultural South, were increasingly integrated into a broader system of production and exchange. For Almoran Williams, this term of labor meant working for over 4 months without wages, with payment deferred entirely to subsistence provisions. Freedmen were only guaranteed work for a few months, requiring them to renegotiate constantly. This is indicative of the instability of the economy in the postbellum South, reflecting a system of mutual dependency, as Ransom and Sutch suggest. According to the contract, the planter agreed not only to provide wages, but also food, clothing, and medical attention. However, the terms reveal a clear imbalance. In return, the laborers would work well and faithfully for the entire contract period and obey all orders from the owner. So, therefore, while planters depended on the labor for production, Almoran's experience illustrates the dependence clearly. Without wages, his survival depended entirely on the planter's provision for food, clothing, and medical care. As Milton Friedman argues, farmers are generally net monetary debtors, harmed by a fall in prices. So, although Almoran was not a landowning farmer, his lack of wages and reliance on provisions placed him in a similarly vulnerable position, dependent on systems of credit and subsistence. This dynamic is reflected in the 1865 labor contract, where freedmen of color, like Almoran, received delayed wages, or in his case, no wages, and relied on provisions, placing them in a deflationary environment where falling prices increased the burden on those already reliant on delayed wages and credit. Ultimately, Almoran's experience reflects the broader transformation of the postbellum Southern economy, in which freedmen entered systems of labor that promised freedom, but often reproduced dependency. While planters relied on freed labor to sustain agricultural production, individuals like Almoran remained economically vulnerable, tied to provisions, delayed in wages, and limited in their mobility. As both Ransom and Sutch and Freedmen, these conditions placed freedmen of color in structurally disadvantaged positions within a national economy, increasingly shaped by market forces beyond their control. In this way, Almoran's contract illustrates not just individual hardship, but the uneven transition from slavery to a modern economic system. Thank you so much. See y'all later.